everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of Live from Cleveland at Home. Tonight, we're joined by a Cleveland musician that goes by the name House of Wills. JV, do you want to introduce yourself to our listeners at home?
Hi, my name is JV, and I play music under the name The House of Wills, as Rachel said.
JV, we've had you on the show before. It's been quite a while since you were on Live from Cleveland, and you were actually at the radio station the last time you were on.
Yeah, it was a bit different. I don't think I play any of the songs I played then now. Still House of Wills, but yeah, that was fun. I do remember that.
It's been like quite a while. I mean, it's been like at least 5 years or something. It's like insane. So I'm happy to see that you're still playing music, still keeping busy.
Well, yeah, more so now than in any of the years between then and now.
Right. And so you have a new-ish album out. It's an EP. And tell me, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the EP. So tell us a little bit about what that name means.
So like basically it's a way of like defrauding a person. In like you put you have a china shop in a stand and you put your expensive chinaware very much on the edge of the counter, and then someone bumps it, knocks it off, and they have to pay the exorbitant fee you're charging for it. In modern times, it's often used in China to describe someone like jumping in front of a car and trying to get hit for insurance money.
Okay.
So it's basically just a scam. And
scam.
I have a certain amount of love for scam and scammers, so the title is in tribute to those folks.
And in what language is that?
That's Chinese.
Okay, very interesting. I did not know this. So how did you come across this word? Like, where was the first time that you heard it used?
I think I was on like a YouTube kick on just like a rabbit hole of just watching videos of people like doing wild illegal stuff one after another. And it was like, I think it was one of those nights too where it ended up being like, oh, it's 5 a.m. Like, I didn't expect it to be that early. Like, I've been watching these random videos for 4 hours for no reason. But then I just found all these videos of people doing this, like, insurance scam stuff. And then, like, I found out there was a word for it and, like, a legacy behind it. And I just thought that was interesting.
Very cool. I always love those kind of stories because I was not aware of any of that. I guess I could have Googled it and then went down the same YouTube hole that
Sure.
that you were on, but very, very cool. So there's 6 songs, and you have it available right now on Bandcamp. Where else can people go if they want to listen to the actual recording of these tracks?
It's on like all streaming platforms. So yeah, I mean, pretty much anywhere you can find music at this point. I didn't put it up there right away, but I just put it on there like a week or two ago. Otherwise, Bandcamp.com or House of Wills, thehouseofwills.bandcamp.com is where to find my stuff.
And not that Halloween's already passed, but your actual solo project name, the House of Wills, that is an homage to the famous funeral home that's over here on Cleveland's east side. Correct?
Yeah, I used to live up on East 63rd, like on the outskirts of Slavic Village. I live in like Asiatown, like Midtown area now, but like every day on my way to work, I would pass the House of Wills, and it was just this like very fascinating, haunting building. And that was even before I really learned the history behind it, and then I learned the history behind it. I heard allegedly that the dude was like lightweight wanting to sue me or something for using the name, who owns it.
Yeah, right.
Which if that's true, dude, come at me, bro. Like, get out of here. Like, yeah, go ahead and try that. Like, sue me for that name. Like, clownery. But I don't know if that's true. That might be. I heard it from a trusted source, but that might not be true. So I'm not trying to slander anyone. Allegedly.
Perfect. And why, back when you decided to do this solo project, you were also in some other Cleveland area bands. Why did you choose to go with like an other than your own name for this project? Was there any like thought behind that?
Yeah, straight up for one reason and one reason only, and that's because Max Stern, who did the artwork for Peng Chi, actually, Max Stern from Signals Midwest and Meridian, and he just put out his own record, Maxwell Stern. It's so dope. You guys got to check it out, The Impossible Sum. But he straight up just told me you should name yourself a thing because it's easier to like get shows and get people to pay attention to what you're doing than if you just go by a person's name. And that made sense to me, so yeah, I rocked with that.
Do you think that is true? Like, have you found over the course of the last 5 years that to be the case?
I knew it was true when you said it, because like I just didn't think about it. I was just gonna I think I just started playing solo stuff for the first time in a while and started going by my name. But yeah, like he was like, oh, he suggested that, and I was like, oh, that's true, because I'm more likely to check out something with, not that I'll never listen, but you know what I mean. I just feel more likely to check it out if there's a name behind it.
Yeah, I feel like if it's just somebody's like first and last name, people, it's like you always get billed as like, Vinny blah blah from the movie or from band blah blah, and like you have to put all of that on there. Like you can't just be your own thing. Like you have.
Were you about to say Vinny Caruna from the movie Life?
Yeah. But I couldn't think of his last name, so it's So I think it is definitely very smart. So, so you put out most of these. So you put out this EP back in August.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. And right now, you are kind of encouraging people to listen to it, like capitalizing on the fact that a lot of us are at home and looking for new tunes. Putting it out when you did. And are most of these songs written recently, or were they something that you just had time to record now that, you're not playing shows live and that kind of stuff?
So I think the date was August 16th. In a 4-hour period, I wrote and recorded all 6 of these songs. These songs did not exist in any format whatsoever. Not a lyric, not a riff. All 6 songs written and recorded in 4 hours in August. And then I put the finishing touches on the EP the next day, added in the sound clips I wanted to add and this and that. But in terms of the actual songs, yeah, written and recorded. You're hearing that stuff played when it was. If you listen to the EP, you're hearing it played the day it was written, pretty much the moment it was written.
Wow. So does this collection of songs, and I know you're going to talk a little bit about them as you play them, and this is an exciting, fun thing for everybody listening at home. We're not doing a listening party tonight. JV is going to be performing all of these songs for us live, which I'm really excited about. But do you find that they had a thematic thread to all of them? What were you really thinking about, a few months ago when you wrote these?
I think that day I didn't sit down and think I'm going to write and record 6 songs. I just felt very inspired that day and really motivated, and I hadn't put out anything in a long time. So I kind of just wanted to see what I could do and force myself to have that work ethic. And the main thing in my mind was don't overthink anything. And as soon as I saw that I was having as soon as I wrote 2 or 3 songs and knew I was going to have enough for an actual project, I was all right, I'm going to write as many as I can and then put it out the way it is, and I'm not going to let myself overthink it, because that's why I've put out so little music in as a solo artist. I started playing solo music in 2004 or something, in high school under a different name, but I've never put out a full-length record under this stuff. I've never even done that. I put out an EP 4 years ago and now another one now. So I just felt like it was time to start doing some stuff, but I didn't want to overthink it, and I didn't want to spend too much time trying to perfect it. So I just kind of wrote what came out. Honestly, I let it flow very naturally.
I do love, and I like that you did bring up the thing that you don't have a ton of music that's recorded that's online. And so I was kind of trying to figure out where where did these songs come from? When did they write them? All of those pieces and parts before the interview, because back in 2017 and 2018, even at that point you were talking about, oh, hey, I've got a bunch of songs that I've written and I'm going to perform them live. But I kind of like that a little bit about this project, that until now your new music has kind of existed just as something to play live and to be almost like a happening. You have to be there to hear the new House of Will song. So do you think that quarantine also did have any influence on the fact that you sat and recorded these versus being able to go out and sing them live?
Yeah, I'm sure that had a hand, and it also was just in in March I lost my job. I worked for the same company for like 11 years. It's fine, I'm fine. But like I lost my job. I didn't know. I came up poor, so I've always had to work. I've always had to have stuff to do. And for the first time in my adult life, I like don't have responsibilities. So eventually it got to a point where it's just like, all right, I got to do something with my time. I got to do something productive outside of like my prison exercises in my bedroom or whatever, or going kayaking was the other thing I did.
I really admired all of your kayaking that you did this year, but that is for another time. Yeah. Well, I'm really happy that you got a chance to sit down and work on this project. Awesome that Max was the one who did the artwork for it, because I really do enjoy the cover for this piece.
He made that artwork the day after I recorded the thing in 30 minutes. Very much in the spirit of my project, amazing. He made the art the same way, and when I saw it, I almost cried. Like it was perfect. It was perfect. So much love to Max. I love that dude. He killed it. Yeah, he's the best.
Do you think that there's anything then that you kind of learned? Oh, hi. Do you think
hell yeah.
Do you think there's anything that you learned from doing this project specifically, like kind of how you're saying, like you didn't want to overthink it that much, you just kind of got in there and did it? If there was anything that you learned from doing this project that you could impart on maybe somebody else, what advice would you give them?
I learned to trust myself and my like gut and my heart and my voice, and like whether or not that sounds cliche or whatever, it's true. Like I did this project a certain way, and I've written a bunch of stuff since then, and it wasn't, in one day I didn't write a billion more songs, but like I started approaching things differently after just having that mindset of like I'm not going to chase perfection, especially when I'm recording all these songs on my phone and importing them into Audacity and like mixing them a little bit, but like this is supposed to be lo-fi, it's supposed to be raw, it's supposed to be real. I just learned to trust myself and like my own judgment. And if you're making stuff and you're doing art, you should be doing it for the sake of doing it and for the love of doing it and for that drive of having to do it. And if you are doing that, trust your voice, because then you're going to make stuff in your voice, and that's all that matters. No one wants to hear you do someone else's thing.
Yeah, that's so true. All right, so I'm not going to make anybody wait any longer to hear these songs. I really do want to dive into this live performance, because I know we have people on Facebook and YouTube watching that want to see this happen. So tell us a little bit about the song that you're going to start out with, and then I'm going to leave it up to you, my friend. I'm
just going to start rocking with the first two songs on the record. This one's called Mixtape. It's the first song on the record. It's the first song I wrote for the record. The record isn't entirely in order, but this was the first song I wrote. Sorry, letting out a gross burp. I don't know. I think it kind of speaks for itself. So this song is called Mixtape. Slow down for horses, they keep walking by. You stopped answering your phone, could you please tell me why? The heat here is oppressive, makes me wanna die. It's killing my high, killing my high. I make myself nauseous with too much caffeine. You're still out here living days like you just turned 19. We get drunk on purpose, we get really mean. The damage to our livers is, as some say, unforeseen, and that's just fine. one day I'll keep driving straight into the lake. It'll already be too late when you scream at me to break. Sometimes I think that this town is too much for me to take, but I'll just laugh about it as you're swimming in my wake. Yeah. Thank you. What's I forget, what's the deal with swearing?
Swearing is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this song is called The Shittiest Towns in Ohio, and it's dedicated to anyone cool who lives in the 99% of this state that is ass. This state sucks, it's trash, it's garbage, it's filled. I hate it. Fuck all of it. Fuck all the place. Burn all the ground. I hate that shit. But yeah, this song's about that. It's called The Shittiest Towns in Ohio. And, you know, it's much love to all the real people out there, like, trying to get the hell out of those hellholes. Retail sign on the side of the road. Loneliest place I've ever known. All the shops are closed in the afternoon. The sense of impending doom. Heat wave comes and then heat wave goes. We're getting beat by cops in civilian clothes. Fuck 12, and it hasn't rained since the start of June. You can feel the end is coming soon. At my door, none of them can tell me what I'm searching for. I say, God send a spaceship to lift me out of the shittiest towns in Ohio. I sing, God send a spaceship to lift me out of the shittiest towns in Ohio.
Nice.
Damn, and then the cat, perfect timing with your cat. I stopped the song and that dude went meow.
I want to say that that she was listening, but she's deaf, so.
and you're wearing headphones, so I.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. JB, do you feel like also kind of writing some of these songs in quarantine, like, I don't know, like, helped you process a lot of this stuff that's happening? I mean, especially for that song, it seems to have a slightly political tint,
that's
you
kind
know?
of the stuff I've felt forever, too, though. Like, I mean, like, I don't know, it's not hard to look around and see what it is, you know, and you either...
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be, like, I don't know, like a coastal elite or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, fuck everyone who's from the rural areas or whatever, with this and that. But, like, if you're trash, you're trash. And if you support trash shit, you're trash. So, like... yeah, a lot of, I mean, that stuff definitely fuels a lot of what I do, and it always has, because I've always been affected by it, so.
Sure, yeah. Very cool.
And yeah, cool. Well, should I play another one?
Yeah, go for it.
This is a little bit of a slower, more mellow song. It's called Ottawa County. Break down my way to Port Clinton. Don't stay Route 2. Sat for now by the Portage River. here. You should be anywhere. I never got a hospital visit. And I never got a card on my birthday. I never got a phone call on Christmas. I don't know why this is hard. I just know that it is. When they ask me about you, I never know what to say. I still don't know what to say. Cheers. All right. I'm gonna play another one.
Okay.
This song's called Proud Mary. I feel like this song feels very quarantine energy to me. Like I said, I wrote these songs in like 4 hours. I kind of just let them come the way they were. Mm-hmm. Maybe I had some intent with some of these, but a lot of it was very just natural. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This song is a quarantine anthem. I feel like if you've lost your job and you haven't done much in the last few months, you could probably feel this one. So it's called Proud Mary, like the Creedence song, but not the Creedence song. Oh, it's also another song that talks mad shit about a lot of Ohio. Direct deposit, so I get drunk at home. I got my voicemail box, it says please leave me alone. I got a Dalmatian, I can still get high. I can barely play guitar and it makes me wanna die. I rarely see people save for quick trips to the store. All my friends are either dead or they're not my friends anymore. Yeah, this state is a prison. Most of it is trash. The Cuyahoga will burn again and it'll smother us in ash. And I can't wait for the party. I hope that you're coming. I can't wait for the party. I know it will be lovely. Thank you.
Oop, do you envision having a party at the end of all of this?
When we're dancing in the ash of the flaming river which we reside next to, I very much intend to throw a big old party by throwing myself in the fire.
Yeah. This is very inspiring.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta lean into the misery, and that's
yeah. I mean, I would love to. That's all I've been doing this entire this entire time, like having bonfires outside. So if it could be a citywide burning of the river, I'm there. Yeah.
I'll get my kayak out for it. I'll go.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
on that bad boy.
That's why you bought it. You're getting ready.
Exactly. Preparing.
There you go. So you have 2 more songs left on this EP. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the next one.
This song is called Kyrie 6. The title came from the last line of the song. Oh, I want to backtrack real quick and just say, though, on that last track, Proud Mary, that Sublime knockoff line is my favorite thing I've ever written. I'm just going to just beat my chest a little bit about that. I wrote that, and I was like, that might be either the worst or the best thing I've ever written. Ultimately, I decided it was the best thing I ever wrote. I
need to, like, re-go back in their catalog and...
I didn't really like Sublime, and in fact, like, well, they got some songs I like, but that song, What I Got, is particularly terrible. And I always, and that line where he's like, I got a Dalmatian, I can still get high, I can play a guitar like a motherfucking riot, and then he plays the corniest guitar solo you've ever heard. It's like some...
I was wondering, I was like, where have I heard that Dalmatian line before?
Yeah, it's from the, like, most popular Sublime song. Why did I write that? I don't know, but I think it's my favorite thing I've ever written.
It's an homage to your dudes.
Shout out to Lou Dog. R.I.P. to Lou Dog, because that's a dog. It's certainly dead by now. But so this song, the title came from the end of the song in which I reference these sneakers.
Ooh.
These are my Kyrie 6s. I love these sneakers, right? But that's why I named it that, just because the song references Nike sneakers. So if anyone was wondering why, that's why. Those are the exact sneakers.
We'll post this interview with a link to the shoes.
Yeah.
Just a photo of the shoes for anybody who,
Pro tip, y'all, follow Sneaker Shouts on Instagram, and that's where I get the sick discounts. That page is very tight.
It's good to know. Good to know.
This song also references a Buick Century that I bought during quarantine. It's the first time I ever bought and owned a car. Like, I've had a license for a while. First time I owned a car. So, shouts out to my Buick Century sitting out in my driveway.
It's the little things.
This song is called Kyrie 6. Buick Century on the interstate. I'm way too fucking high to get pulled over by a state trooper. Woe is me, to keep it a buck. I'm shit out of luck. I burned all my goodwill across this country. Nobody's gonna vouch for me now. A gig economy, a frontal lobotomy. Oh, what's the point of this? I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Like when I turned 18 and started smoking weed again. Funny how things always come full circle, go from true till death to as good as dead. Please don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm in my deathbed and I'll lie in it wearing this sick pair of Nikes.
I like how it was foot-tailed by the 2 things that you mentioned got brought up in the song. We started with the Buick, and then we ended with the Nike.
I didn't even think about it until I started. I was like, oh yeah, it like opens with that line. That's kind of going to be goofy. But
I really love that this EP is very unapologetically JV. And I think that...
you get it, Rachel. You understand me.
Yeah.
Props.
I think
Thank you.
you're right. You're right to have, you know what I mean? Just kind of done it like you did and recorded it in short amount of time, because to overthink these songs is to really take away from their substance.
And it's easy to think about the stuff, like hearing what I'm playing right now. It's easy to hear that stuff and go like, is that too silly? Is that too corny? Is that this or that? And then like, yeah, just trusting that it didn't matter if it was, because I thought it was tight, was what would propel it to be what it is. And like, even if everyone else in the world hated it, like it's, yeah, like you said, unapologetically JV, and I'm glad you said that. That's very tight. I really appreciate
I'm gonna ask you a little bit more about that coming up,
sure,
because you have a surprise for us. But I'm gonna let you play that last song from the EP. Oh, yeah. Say it out loud for me one more time. What was the title of it?
Peng-Chi.
Peng-Chi.
You got it.
Okay, beautiful.
This song is called "The Rings on My Audi," and it's the title is a lyric from a Juice WRLD song. Rest in peace to Juice WRLD. He was very good. I borrow the title of his record in the lyrics of this song. That's why I titled it after a lyric from one of his songs. Anyway, here you go. Perpetually sweat, and the things that we love become the things we regret, and we add a few racks to our increasing debt. It's a real death race for love. I hope the clouds fill the sky and piss on our parade. We begin to destroy everything that we made, and then we cling real tight to this hand grenade. It's a real death race for love. I hope the world has turned and left us here, and we drown all our sorrows in these boxes of beer, and then we do it all again for 4 more years. It's a real death race for love. I hope they wave us down with the checkered flags, and our engine blows out on the very last drag, with 1 foot in the grave and half in the bag. It's a real death race, a real death race for love. I don't feel like coming to the phone today. Everyone should just leave me alone. I don't feel like coming to the phone today, but I don't feel like being alone. Thank you.
Thank you. So we you had teased a little earlier on Instagram, which also, if you want to give a quick shout out, where can people follow you on the internet for more information and to see the latest news about House of Wills?
If you want to follow me for, like, actually follow my music or anything I'm actually doing, just follow my Twitter at JVeezus, JVEEZUS, like the Kanye record. I didn't vote for him, but I like that record. I like a lot of his records. But yeah, that's where you follow me.
Perfect. And you have a little bit of a special announcement for us.
Well, I just want to tell everyone, like, so Friday's Bandcamp Friday, and every Bandcamp Friday they do like 100% of the profits go to the artist. It's a great way to support the artist. There's a ton of bands you should be supporting that day. I want you guys to just pay attention to my Bandcamp on Friday. So at like Thursday night at midnight, go check that stuff out because there's going to be something there for y'all. And everyone watching right now gets to hear that. I got something coming. And
you kind of were telling me a little bit earlier that worked out well for you for releasing this EP as well. That you were surprised by the amount of people that went and supported you even though this project was not really, wasn't widely advertised before you put it out.
I got no label. I got nothing except me doing me and the people who support me and word of mouth. Big love to everybody who picked up that EP. I put my stuff up on Bandcamp for free, for a digital download. Maybe one day I charge for that, but for the most part, I want most of it to be free. A lot of people supported me, and it means a lot to me. Especially now, but art should be valued, and it makes me want to create more. And the fact that mad people invested in what I'm doing like that definitely gave me that motivation to keep putting tons of stuff out and keep working really hard at putting out good music.
For the new stuff that might be on the on the Bandcamp on Thursday at 11:59 p.m. What is this? Maybe some new content? Is this some repurposed older content? What can people expect?
It's funny you say that because I'm sitting on a mountain of solo stuff from the last number of years. Even when I recorded my first House of Wills solo EP, there was tons of songs at the time that I just didn't put out and release. Not because I didn't like them, but I just didn't. So I was thinking, I kind of want to put out something that's a greatest hits of songs that were never released. And I don't know, I probably just re-record them.
That would be great.
But it'd be fun to be greatest hits for some no-name artist. But here's a bunch of songs, and some of them are 5 years old. But if I still like them, I'm dropping a full length. I'm dropping my first full length as a solo artist, and it's actually going to be called True Crime. My friend Danette Conkley did the art. They're amazing. Big shouts out to them. Big love to them. I'm really excited to show people that. I'm really pumped. It's 11 tracks. I wasn't even planning on necessarily announcing that, but fuck it.
Well, thank you for giving us the scoop on it. I'm really excited.
Anyone who watches who doesn't already know deserves to know. I appreciate them watching. So yeah, there's going to be a full-length record coming out Friday. And
this will broadcast tomorrow night as well on Live from Cleveland. So literally if people hear the old songs and then get done listening to your live set and they want to go onto your Bandcamp, it'll be there in about an hour after this airs. So it'll be there. So are most of those songs then also this project, new songs that you recorded, or some of them are older tracks?
All of it, all 11 tracks were written in between when Pengchi was written and recorded and now. And I think actually the first song I wrote for that record was written within a day or two of me finishing writing, or the day I wrote Pengchi. I think it was the next day. I feel like I immediately just started work. So it's all brand new stuff that I've written in the last couple months.
Do you feel like the songs that are on this new release could not have been written when you wrote Pengchi? No. I feel like that is, sorry, go on.
Because I try, when I was writing Pengchi, my whole thing was all right, I'm going to go until I'm out of steam. I started working on a 7th song for maybe 5 minutes. And I was like, this is whack, and I'm out of juice. I just knew, I could just tell. I was like, nah, I'm not feeling, I tried to play around with another idea maybe for a minute too, and I was just like, nah, the 6 songs is it. So yeah, there's a certain energy to sitting down and just hammering out a bunch of ideas like that. This, sure. I try to keep that same mentality of not second guessing myself and not going too hard on trying to get everything perfect. But I put a little more time into it, and I spread it out over the course of a couple months.
And as far as the content, I feel like Pengchi is so of August. Maybe the some of the concerns that you had, or the things that were heavy on your mind then. Do you see that as much with this new collection now? Have your sets of concerns changed? Or for the things that you wrote about for this new album, are they any different than what you were writing about when you were writing Pengchi?
On this record, I was inspired by a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily want to get into too specific, just because I want to leave it up to people or whatever. Yeah. But, there's definitely some similar things for sure. There's definitely a song or two I can think of right off the bat where I feel like it has a similar energy. There's definitely a lot of there's a good deal of revenge music on this record. So if you're full of hate towards some people, there's plenty of songs for that. If you're trying to get back at someone who wronged you, even if it's just in your head, there's plenty of songs for that too. But I tried to make sure my pen game was strong with this record. I tried to push myself to like really write some stuff that I was like very proud of, lyrically, musically, whatever. Like I tried to really push myself. I think it shows, and I hope that when people hear it, they feel the same.
For sure. Has there been anything, but before we maybe listen to one of the newer songs, has there been anything that you've been listening to thus far, like in the last couple of months, that has really, I don't know, just inspired you to up that pen game, or anything that you think people should be listening to before end of 2020?
I think honestly what helped inspire me a lot this year too was like, I listened to not much guitar-based music. I mean, there's some, like, Lawrence Arms put out a record this year, the Mountain Goats put out a record this year. If you know me, you know I love those bands. The Mountain Goats are probably my favorite band of all time. Well, they are my favorite band of all time. They actually put out 2 records this year. They're great. So there's that stuff. But I mostly listened to rap music this year. Mostly, and, like, I was vibing with a lot of the mainstream stuff. Like I said, I referenced Juice WRLD in the song. I was really big on Griselda, that whole collective, West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher's new record, Armani Caesar, Conway the Machine. Boldy James put out 3 incredible rap records this year. It is a great year for hip-hop, whether you like boom bap stuff or the new stuff or whatever. Like, there's something for everybody. It was a really fruitful year for that. And I think how good that was and how strong a lot of these dudes' work ethic are, a lot of these people work ethic are, to like pump music out that's quality, like especially like West Side Gun, that inspired me a lot. Where it was like, if you're bullheaded enough and you're disciplined enough, you make yourself sit down and do the work, you can put out a bunch of good stuff.
Awesome. Very awesome. So do you have one of the newer songs kind of available to play for us, to give us a little taste? Or what were you thinking of playing?
Yeah, I'll play a new one.
Okay. Cool.
I was going to play one, but I like playing this one. I've played this one on like a live before, but like 2 people saw it, so who cares?
When was that? Do you remember?
Sometime within the last month. Occasionally I just hop on Instagram Live when I'm bored, because we're all just doing whatever, and I'll just hang out with people if anyone's there. And sometimes feel like playing music if I'm like, well, I'd be sitting here playing alone in my room anyway, so why not?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Which is another fun fact. Anyone watching this is looking at like where I was sitting when I recorded Pengchi. All this happened right here. Same with the new record. Like all of it. This is where I'm at when I'm working on stuff. So
I really do like this new aspect of Live from Cleveland, where we literally get to see where people recorded stuff at. Like I never thought this would ever happen.
Yeah, I'm pumped as hell. Everyone gets to see my like dirtbag ass way of life and like boarded up window next to my bed, which I insist stays that way because I don't want the sunlight shining in my face in the morning. I'm trying to sleep in.
It's just blinds.
Yeah, it's perma blinds. It's tight.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
It's cool. So this song is called The Trenches. It's the last song on my new record.
Awesome.
I won't roll out of bed for 12 an hour, but I'd shoot you in the face for less than that. But redemption never comes in the form of smoking guns without a couple strings attached. Yeah. I thought about moving out to the country, but I'm pretty sure I'd just get fucking bored. With no sirens and no songs and no bodies on the lawn. Nothing worth dying for. Shit. And I thought about the war. And I thought about you. And I thought about the promises we made to one another before they called out your number far too soon. singing my name. DJ shout me out, may they all. I think I'll be a boxer in the suburbs, so I can still punch people in the face. Plant coral bells and aster in the garden. Spend all my free time staring into space.
That was like perfect, the perfect taste of the new record. I'm really excited for it now.
Thank you. That's awesome to hear. I think that's one of the last songs I wrote for. I was very pumped. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. And have you lined anything up as far as playing live besides just Instagram Live, or is that the way it's going to stay for a little bit for you?
I'm not trying to do any. I kind of wish I had maybe taken some initiative to like start doing like an outdoor thing in the summer, because I probably could have arranged something safe that was actually fun. That's windows out the window now. It's getting too cold. I'm definitely not trying to play any clubs or anything until we're not going to die of a disease, virus.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, not much live for the time being. Maybe I'll do an online show or something and set something up that would actually be like a planned event.
Yeah.
But, that could be cool. Because this is a lot of fun, and it honestly feels great to actually perform for anyone.
You know that Isaac and I are watching at least. So
yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm really happy that you have continued to write and play music, even if it is just on Instagram or an online platform. So I definitely want to thank you, JV, for being on Live from Cleveland at Home tonight. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me, Rachel. Thank you, as always, for your support. You've been supportive of a lot of stuff I've been doing for years. It is not unnoticed. It's very appreciated. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There will be live shows again for sure once that happens. Everyone wear your masks. Don't be a clown. Be out there. Be safe so we can go back to doing stuff regular again. I miss having a life.
Very
Sucks.
true. And one more time for everybody out there, shout out that Bandcamp, your Twitter, to wherever people can go to get a reminder for all of this good new music that you're going to have coming out.
Sure. The houseofwills.bandcamp.com, just straight up. And then I have a Facebook page for the House of Wills too. I post stuff on it occasionally, but if you really want to keep up to date with me, JV's this on social media. I post on Twitter a lot, making jokes and not being overly serious. So I'm actually fun to follow.
I forgot how culturally relevant you are with all of your pop culture nods and stuff. So this has been fun and has kept me on my toes.
Thank you. I try. I like my stuff to be like a collage of my brain and like the stuff I see before I fall asleep. So.
For sure. And I also wanted to just shout out, thanks for being on the show. I know that you are waiting to try to go see your partner in Canada soon. So I hope that is worked out. I hope that their government is going to let some people through. Any, any knowledge or that you can lay down on anyone?
At this point, we're just waiting. But actually, for real, if you do have like a loved one in Canada and you don't know what's going on, find me on social media and I'll talk to you about it and link you where to go, because they have granted exemptions recently because people it's been 8 months since I see my partner. She lives in Canada because of COVID. And so they're starting now to grant exemptions to let people through. And I'm just waiting for my approval. But yeah, if you do need any information on that, please hit me up. I would love to help anyone. So
yeah. Good luck, and you're
you.
in my thoughts for that, especially.
You.
So yeah, definitely.
That,
all right, we are gonna say bye to everybody at home. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for Live from Cleveland at Home tonight. Next week, we're actually going to have somebody that you might know, JV. Jason Kaminsky is going to be on.
That's my dude. I love Jason Kaminsky.
Next week.
Y'all better watch. I'll be watching. And also, shout out to Mary Kekik. She better put out a full length soon. Put out a record, Mary.
She did such a good job on the show as well.
I watched it. It was great. I loved it. And I'll be definitely watching Jason next week. Y'all watch, because he's the best.
He has a new album out as well, so we're going to be talking about that. And and congratulations and good luck for Friday. So very exciting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, y'all.
Just for the for the talking, sorry, but for the air, but for like